If silver goes up to $100, will these two big banks fail? No, but they might be in big trouble. As we look around, I'll tell you why and how. There is a post on the X platform by an analyst who has been in the market for a long time and is followed by people I value. He made some shocking claims about two of the world's biggest banks that I think are very, very worrying. But JP Morgan is the only bank that isn't on the list. Why does that happen? They changed to going long, that's why. Does that mean they're not very tall? They don't have any short jobs, right? I don't think so. Still, they have moved into the long phase, just like a lot of other people lately. However, it looks like two big banks have not done that. The expert says that this has never happened before from low no-limit gains, that he's been thinking about this for 12 hours and now says it's worse than he thought. I'll talk about that in a moment. However, I think that having real silver in your hands is the best way to go. And there is a squeeze on metal in more than one way. Silver can be bought and sold at Summit Metals, which is run by friends of mine. Click on the link in the text below to see for yourself what great customer service is like. Here are the numbers. This is what it all comes down to. Every year, 800 million ounces of silver are made. That's it. Please think about that for a short time. What about the shorts that the banks have set up, though? 4.4 billion ounces of shorts, which means they're betting against silver 4 times over. That's crazy. The biggest banks in the US will fail if silver prices keep going up. He now says nouns. I don't agree with them on this point. I don't think they will fall down, but they might be in a lot of trouble. So, this is some of the information he's found. Silver hit $93 an ounce, dropped over 6% in just a few minutes, and then shot back up to $92 and change. He thinks there's a real battle going on, and a lot of it is because he thinks people are manipulating the market to protect their short positions. So, I guess my question is, why not go? Since we can see the trend, why not just get rid of those jobs right now? It looks like Bank of America has 1.4 billion ounces of silver futures, and Citigroup has 1.1 billion ounces. Together, they have 4.4 billion ounces, which is more than 5 times the yearly supply from mines around the world. And at $90 an ounce, this creates a $390 billion debt that puts the bank's security at risk. Now has those short situations that aren't really being argued about. So why not move them to the long? That is the real question. I don't know why they're doing that other than to protect themselves, but it might be harder to do than it sounds. To be clear, that $390 billion is more than the market value of most major banks, so it's a matter of life. Many things are being done by the banks to stay afloat, so that's why he thinks this is going on. Because of the big drop we saw in trading the day before, they had to do it before they could record this movie. If silver had broken $100, banks would have been forced to close because of margin calls. He says, I don't know now. I believe that they have more defense than that. I also believe that the higher margins are a part of the safety measures that have been put in place, which is why I don't think they will fail. Paper prices went down $5.06, but lease rates went straight up. The price of borrowing real silver is going through the roof. We've seen slight backwardation and slight contango situations, and the difference between the bid and ask prices has grown a lot. There are now 25 cents between the bid price and the spot price. This movie was made at this time. Even though anything can happen at any time, it's crazy to see the markets moving and doing what they're doing right now. Also, how quickly things change and move between the East and the West. In 6 months, more people won't want paper promises. You can see that they need the metal now. This is what's making the backwardation happen. That's 4.4 billion ounces for the shorts. Every year, 800 million ounces are mined, but people will keep $90 worth of recycling supplies. There are still a lot of people selling, though. Don't get that wrong. And even on the industrial side, we see that people will buy at any price to keep companies running. They can move up because there is a lot of room for them to do so. They're going to buy no matter what. I think they'll keep buying even if the price of silver goes up to $200 an ounce. As it stands, dealers are saying that goods are currently unavailable and that delivery times of 6 weeks or more are normal for large orders. For those of us who are stackers, this means that our effect is only about the same as 25% to 27% of the total silver market. But we're the ones who are really hurting because right now, a silver eagle costs more than $100. And he says that once the price goes back up above 92. In fact, Bob Coleman, another expert, says that $93 is the magic number. Then it won't stop at $100. Yes, we can agree on that. At least based on what Bob Coleman says, it could go up to $120 or so. But he says it will gap up to $150 overnight when the first major short claims force majeure. Really, that's a default, and I don't think that's going to happen. Another defense is likely in place, but this guy has been learning for a long time. I don't know then. Just a guess, but I think they do. They're not going to hurt themselves. I think they will find a way to go long before they default if they are going to. But they are shaking the tree one more time to check you out. It's do not sell. Yes, I can see why someone would say the opposite, even though I made around. However, I think that you should hold on to at least a core portion of your physical stack in silver. You should sell when you need to, or when you want to take advantage of a unique opportunity. That's because when you do that, you're not just using diamond hands, you're also making a fist with it. What makes gems, after all? Time and stress. And when you make that fist, your grip is tighter. There is an ounce of silver in the heart of that fist, but you can't see it. He has it in his grip tight. If that doesn't work or the word isn't clear, I have it written or stamped right there. Hold on. For those who are interested, you can pre-order these right now at Summit Metals. In any case, that's what it's about. The idea is to keep a core silver stack. Also, keep all of it if you can afford to. He then says that we are seeing the death of the paper derivative market happen right now, which I also don't think is necessarily true. You're right, there is a gap. But I don't think the paper derivative market will go away anytime soon. In fact, 100-ounce COMEX contracts that can't be redeemed for real silver have made it stronger. No, they're not at all. The only way to get them back is in cash. That's exactly what I meant. That being said, I don't think the paper substitutes will go away anytime soon. We'll be put back together. It's already true. We can see it happen in real time, with the number going up and down based on things like price spikes and other variations. Okay, so it's a commodity supercycle. That's what I agree with him. He has been studying macro since 2003 and has correctly predicted every market high and low for more than 10 years. While I haven't looked into his past on this, I'll take him at his word. It's a pretty bold claim, and there's not much reason to doubt it. He is presenting proof with a screenshot that shows some of the jobs that are with Krupp and Bank of America. It's also pretty interesting to look at. And I'll tell you what, I think these banks will be in a lot of trouble if this thing goes through a big jump in price within the next week and hits $100 an ounce. That is, they might not have time to move. They're still short, which makes no sense to me. Bank of America and Krupp wouldn't give up. Oh, JP Morgan, they got smarter. They went far. So, and I don't know how long they went, but someone said something like 750 million ounces worth, or something similar. It was very interesting. I know this channel is supposed to give you the latest news and analysis in the world of precious metals, and sometimes I get things wrong, like in a recent video. But you know what? I'm responsible to you, and thank God for my audience to correct the record and hold me accountable so that I can correct the record. Unlike the Asian AI guy, who isn't responsible to anyone because he's just an illusion, he's artificial intelligence gathering data across about 100 channels, which is why you should watch sites like mine and others if you want to get real news from a real person. There are also great channels that are run by real people and try to give you the latest news and opinion. However, that's all there is to it. Tell me what you think about this. It'll be interesting to see where the spot price of silver goes from here. Who knows? No matter what happens, it will be a wild ride. Thank you so much for watching, and please rate, share, review, and subscribe.